Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. During this 15 minutes, I hope that you can relax, find time to breathe, and draw along as I guide you through creating a little tile using the Zentangle method of drawing. I have a 2" by 2" square tile I'm working on. I'm using a Micron 05 pen, a Zentangle graphite pencil, and a tortillon for blending. All you need is anything to draw on, any kind of paper. Any type of drawing pen will work. And if you don't have a pencil or a blending tool, you can skip that part. We're going to do some shading at the end, but any pencil will do. And if for a blending tool, you can use a Q-tip or the corner of a tissue. Okay? All right. Again, I'm working on a 2" by 2" square tile. The tangle we're using today is called Jokey, J-O-K-I. I'm sorry about that. And that was created by Kim Arts. Okay. I'm going to start with my pencil. And I'm going to start by drawing a little dot inside each corner. And then connecting those dots with my pencil. Doing it nice and light, because perhaps my drawing today might go outside of these lines. If you want them to be more straight, you can. It just creates a little frame for our piece of work. Okay, so to make Jokey, I'm going to start by creating a line in the middle that I'm going to draw the pattern around. So I'm just going to put in kind of a wavy line across the middle. It doesn't matter what it looks like. And then Jokey is created by first making a spiral. So I'm going to create a spiral. And then I'm going to come off of that spiral. So I'm going to come over here, almost like I'm putting a hat on it. But then I'm going to get closer and closer and come in right to the bottom of that. I'm going to do that again, almost like I'm putting a hat on. And I'm going to come and get closer and closer to that bottom. I'll do it a couple more times. So I'm going to go and put another hat on and tuck it in. Little hat. Tuck it in. Looks sort of like a seashell. I'm going to stop there. I could keep going, but I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to make this next one maybe the opposite way. I start by making a spiral. It can be a small spiral, a large spiral. And I'm going to put the hats on again, but this time I'm going to go the opposite way. So, trying to figure out how to explain that, but my spiral kind of goes out this way, so I'm going to put a hat over here and then curve it back into that starting point. Do a hat and curve in. Hopefully that's making sense. If you did yours the other way, it's completely fine. Right, I'm going to put another one on here. I'm going to make that spiral again. And now it's bumping into this one. So I just need to remember to kind of do that go behind method as if that little hat maybe started underneath that. And then I'm going to do one this way and this way. And that way. Now it doesn't matter which way I make my next spiral. Just going to pop one in there. I'm not trying to make it match up to anything. I'm just enjoying this process of making spirals and adding these little toppers. So I'm going to make my little hat. He's going to go behind and come down the bottom. I'm going to do another one. Kind of getting smaller as I go. That wasn't intentional. Start with my spiral. Now maybe this one I want to make go a different direction. Put on my hat and then curve into that tight bottom. And if I want on this one, I could keep going. It's kind of pretty. The Zentangle method is really meant to just be enjoying making these lines without thinking about an end result. Throw in another little spiral here. And I'm going to make these little toppers go this way. It's so fun. Now I've made this look sort of like a leaf shape, which is how I saw it on the internet. Someone had kind of done that. If I was doing this in a larger tile, I would just keep adding spirals and just piling them on top of each other. But I'm going to keep this sort of leaf shape, and I'm going to put a spiral down here. Do the hat and curve in. And I'm going to turn my tile, and I'm going to put another one over here. I'm going to draw, sorry, the air condition just kicked on if it gets a little loud. Draw my little spiral. And hopefully this part is not too tricky for you. Making these little kind of hat shapes. Just for fun, I'm going to put another one right here. Again, the idea of Zentangle is that you can Just sit and relax and make these same lines over and over again without overthinking it. Now I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to fill in that border that I first made. I'm going to pick up my pen right here where that shape went over it. I like how that spills outside of that little frame. I'm also going to thicken this initial line. To give it a little bit more of a leafy shape. All right. There we go. I'm going to pick up my pencil and add some shading. Now this is a very tiny tile, so I'm not going to put a lot of shading in, but I'm going to take this first spiral and I'm going to go on the outside of that spiral and just put a little bit of shading on that outside. And that next one, I'm going to put a little bit of shading on the outside of that. And a little more. I'm going to take my tortillon for blending, and I'm just going to smudge it a little bit. Hardly any. That just kind of makes it look like those are layered on top of each other. Go on the outside of this spiral. The outside of each of these. Just softening them. Outside of the spiral, outside of those little hat shapes. Go ahead and do every one right now. As they get smaller, I might not put much in there. Probably doesn't need a lot of this, but I always feel like a tile isn't complete until I give it a little bit of shading. And do these small ones on the outside. Take your time, don't let me rush you. Softening them with my blending stump. And then for this one, I'm actually going to put a little bit of shading on the outside of this frame. Just putting a little bit of graphite all the way around. And softening that. The idea is that the darkest part is by the line, the And it gets lighter as you pull away. And that is it. I'm going to take my pen. We always initial our work. So just find a spot on your tile to place your initials. And on the back of your tile, we already wrote the name of the tangle. And then two things I always do. One is I always write the date. And the second thing is I always write a little journal entry, something that's on my mind or in my heart, something I'm thinking of this week, maybe wherever I am, if I'm on a little vacation, or I'm at home or at work. Just write a little journal entry of what was going on when I took 15 minutes for myself. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed 15 minutes of Zen.